At L&V Logistics, meat packing is our business. Express shipping from New York to Ohio. We'll take it from here.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our pop-up live stream. I got a call.
I just showed
Hey, you
up.
want to do a live stream? And I said no because I thought that like Miss Livingston wanted to maybe like eat dinner and like chill for the night, but she was like, "No, Tom, come on through." So I was like, actually, I had to switch course directly mid-conversation. Be like, actually, well, come on through, bro. You know what? Here we are, 5x5 Livingston Man and Rob the Drifter together at last. Some random dude, Teresa Buchanan, Loretta, some random dude, the guy who forgot how to speak English. The prepared Irishman, Loretta, Miss Coast Cajun, MS Coast Cajun Prepper, SQOG. I bet you that's got a whole meaning to it. Ladies and gentlemen, my good friend and neighbor, Rob the Drifter. How's your neighbor if he's a drifter? We drift together, all right? Don't fucking ask questions, all right? We have come together because we're going to talk about all the stuff that nobody else talks about because, you know, frankly, we're bored of it. Things that are being left unsaid are about to be said. Topics that ain't been addressed.
Tired of it.
Possibly gonna be addressed. Rob, tell them.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty tired. I'm pretty tired of dealing with the same thing that I've been dealing with for the last 20 years, or 10 years, or 15 years, or 30 years. It's all the same. It hasn't changed. No matter how many times you vote, or you change your vote to vote for this side or that side, it doesn't change. It's all the same. And I don't know about you, but that kind of pisses me off. It kind of makes me mad because I voted for change in 2008 and it didn't happen. And I voted for change in 2012 and 2016 and 2020, 2024. And nothing changed. It's still the same. I'm still paying more than I should for a gallon of gas. I'm paying more for a carton of eggs than I should. I'm paying more for pretty much damn near everything. And all I get on the back end is just vocals.
Performance. They tell you what you think.
Yeah.
What they think you want to hear. And according
Right.
you vote for it, because what do you mean you're supposed to do? Besides vote for the person who is alleging to have your best interests in mind. But then it seems, like you pointed out, is that the pattern seems to be that, like, however you want to look at it, like there's two wings, but it's the same bird. And what it seems to be is this perpetual, like, power structure that never really changes, but only presents an illusion that it did.
Correct. Yeah, no, that's the political power structure, exactly how you planned it out or you painted it. They don't change.
No,
and they're going to continue to do the same thing that they have been doing for the last, I don't know,
250 years, brother.
Yeah.
I hate to tell you.
Well,
the revolution wasn't fought for some great nation. It was fought so some rich guys didn't have to pay taxes.
Give the first 30 or 40 years a little bit of credit because they didn't have it planned out then.
The spirit
but
was... Okay.
They figured it out. I would say, honestly, like, the 90s were, for me, you know, I'm getting up in the age, you know, I'm in
Whoever
my...
sits in this chair is getting up in the age. What the fuck
That's your boy.
Boy. Lean back. Lean back. Like I'm doing a gangster lean in a podcast studio. Crikey. What's
So-
you got shooters out looking for you, bro?
I would say that we can run it back to like 60 years and you can honestly see the change in America. And I mean I'm youngish, but 90s were for me like, oh sorry, I hit the mic. 90s for me were probably like some of the greatest times, because I remember, going out and my family didn't care if I made it home. They just knew that I needed to be home by the time the sun went down. Like I just left. And you can't do that nowadays with kids or anybody anymore. You can't trust anyone anywhere at any point in time because of all the stuff that's going on. And it really is it's a scary world that we live in. It's a crazy world that we live in, where you literally have to worry about not only yourself but your loved ones and your kids everywhere you go. And for no other reason that they might end up in the wrong place at the wrong time because somebody decided today's a good day to end my life and shoot up something.
It is. After the stream that me and Mike did last night, we were talking about just modern life, and that I brought that up. I said, I was like, I was basically talking about my sunglasses. A lot of people think my sunglasses are weird, but to be perfectly honest with you, I actually I can't see without them.
You got bifocals on.
But they do allow me I can look around the room without looking like I'm looking around the room. I can see what's going on over there in the corner without actually looking at the corner. And the sad reality is today, when you go to the convenience store, you go to the supermarket, you go to church, you go to school, you gotta be looking around the fucking room. You gotta be looking over your shoulder. You gotta be making sure. You gotta be keeping your, proverbial head on a swivel anymore, because exactly what he said. Somebody might decide that today's the day. It's not, it's scary, sure, but I don't approach that with a sense of fear. I approach that with a sense of vigilance. I ain't gonna let that happen if at all possible, should I find myself in a situation like that. Yeah, if I'm in the grocery store, if I'm in the convenience store, if I'm at the gas pump, I don't know. I'm spraying you with gas and throwing a lit cigarette at you. I'm clunking you in the head with a can of Spam. You're getting knocked the fuck out with a turkey breast. I am not just going to go willingly along with whatever ridiculous fantasy somebody else has decided they're going to enact on me today. I don't do that. It's easy for me to say. It's pure speculation. But this is the world we live in, where you have to worry about that kind of thing. Or if you're a person who, packs a little something with you, you got to be stressed and worried about, oh my God, is today the day I'm going to have to unwillingly pull it on and make a decision I wish I didn't have to make, and with respect to, police officers and first responders who, of course, always wrestle with that. But that's, as citizens in general here in America, you really have to take that mindset into account. We have a violent culture. We have a system that is either completely out of touch with how this all works, or is actively malignant towards us. It views us as a replaceable serf class. There's an economic caste system in America right now. Everybody feels it. Everybody. And even if it's so simple as you don't know what you want, but you know that this ain't it. Everybody's feeling it right now. Is this why you decided to do a live stream with me tonight?
There's a lot of reasons. One of which is you and I have some of the best conversations that I've had with a lot of people. You and I, when we sit down and we talk, I believe a lot of things are aired out that are not only in ourselves, but just things that we believe that we're not willing to say on air. And you know, I've only spent a few hours on air vocally, but only a few minutes visually. So
our opening commercial actively promotes cannibalism, so I think that if they were going to shut us off, they would have done it then. But hey, if we do catch a if screen goes black, no, we must have probably said something that was a little too true.
You know, at the end of the day, man, I'm glad to be here and spend time with you and Mrs. Livingston and my father and my mother. But that being said, you know, we talk about a lot of stuff on
I kind of like that. I love
multiple,
all you guys, but
I love all the chat too. I'm not going through all the names.
Pass me a green beer, please.
That being said,
Yardbirds is here.
I love you, Yardbirds.
He's my favorite.
I love SRD, dude. You know me, and well, you don't know me personally, but I love hearing from you, and I love the fact that you understand what I actually am, and I am truly a drifter. I have no choice. It is part of my work. A lot of people don't know what I do. Maybe they don't on this channel, but I build multifamily developments. I'm a part of the problem in every neighborhood that everybody hates, but it pays the bills, and it's gonna, God willing, put my son through college someday. So I do what I can for the future of my family, not necessarily for me in the time. And that's a sacrifice that a lot of people don't think about or talk about, is a man's sacrifice for his family, given the time away from them. Because for the first year, I didn't see my family. I worked. I was in Orlando, Florida, and my family was in New York. And I saw my son and my wife for, I believe it was, I have it on the calendar. I think it was 27 days total out of the year.
That you saw them or didn't see them?
That I saw them.
Okay,
that I was actually able to spend time with my family. 27 days was the actual amount of time that I was able to spend time with my family.
Yeah, quick math. That's 300 days plus without seeing his family.
Yeah. And, you know, it's sacrifices
who
like
else
that.
does that? Inmates.
Yeah, well, they do it by their choice, and I did it by my choice.
You weren't forced.
It was different. I wasn't forced. It was my own choice. And, you know, my wife is the most amazing woman, because she put up with me and everything that's, you know, comes with me.
Ooh, Dana Let's Prep got some fire under her little keister, huh? Can you give us the heads up when more 15 cities come? 15 minutes cities come. What's the matter?
Are you reading right?
Are you mad? Can you give us the heads up when more 15-minute cities come? Never mind. You will not jeopardize your job for your family heart.
Well, I can tell you right now that I'll give you a little insight. I don't build 15-minute cities. I build multifamily developments throughout the southeast, and we that's our primary focus. We do some like yeah, I heard that. You got me on that one.
He said it.
You got me on that one. That was good. That was funny. No, we do some like senior living facilities and Section 8 housing and stuff like that. Like
Hey, at least he's
low
building
income and stuff
housing,
like that.
right? Like, let's not judge lest ye be judged here. The guy's building housing, and and apparently there's a shortage now. What the people who end up owning that housing intend to do with it, that's a different devil to worry about. Don't worry about the dude who's actually just doing it, man. You know.
Well, I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword where
Do you think you're like
Excuse me.
contributing to something bad by doing what you do?
in the neighborhoods that or in the areas that I work, like I'm in North Carolina now, and it's just outside of Burnsville, where there was an absolute travesty that took place with Hurricane Helene, and yeah, it. I mean, there's a whole documentary that's going on right now with all the people that were devastated by that. I couldn't tell you what streaming platform that it's on, but you can look it up. I believe the name of the streaming platform is Scars of the
YouTube, the
Mountain.
Livingston Man channel.
Yeah. But
So what do you mean? So let me presume something here. Place got devastated by a natural disaster. Developers
Yeah.
came in, bought up land cheap, built
no
some houses.
no, actually, it was actually the other way around, which is crazy because normally you would think that was the case. Like it was just like free money for developers to come in and do that.
Supposed to fix it, but instead,
Yeah, but it wasn't the case actually. 90% of all the proceeds are going to the families, and it's all local. Everybody that has been affected by that storm, it's all local. And nobody talks about it. Nobody hears about it. Like that's the crazy thing to me is like it's not even mainstream news that they're actually rebuilding themselves without government help. Like, well, I say without government help, but there's a lot of other YouTubers and content creators that are I hit the mic again, but that are out there and they're actually bringing tractor trailer loads of, or did at the beginning of it, to facilitate help to these people. And a lot of people don't understand how many people lost their lives during that hurricane in North Carolina. It was over 250 people lost their lives. You believe that? Over 250 people lost their lives in a hurricane in North Carolina, in western North Carolina. Think about the overall area. A hurricane affected
we get them here.
over 15,000 people in one town, a small town.
It's easy to see why some people would subscribe to the idea that they can somehow steer these things. Because when one kind of takes dead aim at like a city or a town like this, or as Yardbirds expertly pointed out, allegedly they found lithium deposits, and all of a sudden a hurricane occurs. I have to counter that with like a little bit of realism. You would almost think that an entity that had that kind of ability, that could control and in fact steer a Category 5 hurricane, would maybe use it on their adversaries and not their own people. And so you wonder if that's the case. Okay, so a weapon, let's call it that, used in this regard isn't controlled by us. It's controlled by an adversary. Right? Because why would we steer a hurricane at ourselves? For what? Plausible deniability? I can actually understand that. I think we would have to really, really humble ourselves to the level of unethicalness and moral ambiguity that governments will stoop to in the name of national security, pride, and every other thing.
Oh man, you're fucking dodging the line. You're dodging the line, because you have to think about, it's not what the people's best interest or your best interest are on the line. It's whose pocket.
Is it
Not
the
my pocket?
If we can't appeal to patriotism, if it's not for
It's not patriotism.
if it's not for the nation, then really what we see is that it's for some people.
You can look at and you can, the chat, by all means, correct me if I'm wrong.
Is it kind of like, economic apartheid? Is that what we're seeing here? I call it an economic caste system, where you're kind of born into your thing and you're not really allowed, or it's frowned upon if you step out of it. But America frames its system differently. We point at these third world countries and we say, look at this fucking dirty bullshit over here. But we kind of do the same thing, but we call it different. We
are a third world country at this point in time. Think about it. We
say it right.
Sorry, I might not be. I was sitting back.
Called America a third world country, and honestly, folks, I'm inclined to agree.
So
the evidence.
I mean, you look at where we're at. Like, we haven't been okay for the last 20 years. Like, okay, like solid for the last 20 years. And that's generous as all get out. Like, nobody in the chat, by all means, blow me up, because there's no way that you can agree that in the last 20 years, the United States has been a solid country to where we're united and a part of this country as a collective. There's no way that you can possibly... Go ahead. You can't. It's not even possible, because all of the we can go way back.
Go.
Let's go back 40 years.
We have to go back. Robbie, we have to go back.
Yeah. We really do. We have to go back to the 80s, the 90s.
I would think maybe
the 70s. You can go back to the 70s.
I wasn't there, but I'm told like the late 40s and 50s was like absolute peak, like golden era. Actually, America peaked like 70 years ago.
You go through your Rolodex, you go through any photos of America during the 1970s, 80s, 90s, and then you look at now. It is like night and day. Nothing looks the same. Nothing.
They even took the warm white lights away and they put up those ugly blue LED lights that are designed to annoy you and make you feel anxious.
So check this out. I had lights that I took out of my house because I don't like the lights that are in the houses nowadays. And
people
I'll
want
tell you,
that blue daylight color. It's so ugly.
It's not that. So they're LEDs, and turn your slow motion camera on. If the light flickers, it's not a light that is good for your body. All of the other lights the halogen, the old school halogens, those are the ones that are good for you. The rest of them.
Can I push back here though?
Yeah,
actually,
go ahead.
they all do that.
Not the old school halogens.
They do. See, what you're describing is 60 hertz alternating current, and what you're seeing when you use a 240 frames per second slow motion is actually it's now cutting and it makes the lights look like strobe lights.
Yeah.
All of them do that. Actually, the sun is arguably the most constant light source, the one that will not strobe. But anything connected to the electrical grid kind of will, but LEDs actually don't. True LEDs don't strobe with the 60 hertz. In fact,
I'm learning things too.
The 60 hertz sound, you're possibly familiar with it if you're a guitarist. If you ever plug it in, it goes, what you're hearing is the 60 hertz noise. If you were to slow that down, what you would hear is alternating current, because it alternates, it is pumped in pulses versus direct current that buzzes straight on all the time. Yes, but no.
Yeah, no. Hey, listen, I am not.
I wish I had a camera. I could actually show you, but it would just. I'm
not apart from being wrong. I've been wrong before. It's not gonna not happen again. I've been wrong a lot.
If you're witnessing,
and I'm okay with being wrong. That's the thing. You know what? That's the thing, is people hate being wrong. They hate being wrong so much so that they would lie enough to where everybody else believes them. They hate being wrong. Why?
Well, it's
being wrong. Being wrong educates you.
Sure. Yeah. It's well, it's a coping mechanism. First of all, it's embarrassing.
Well, hold on.
Being wrong and especially called down on it. Immediately it's embarrassing. And you
well, sure, but that's the educational process.
Exactly. Like, okay, well,
it should be that way,
right? I would rather be like corrected than walk around looking like some idiot who is wrong. You know?
Yeah. You don't know if you're wrong, and that's honestly that's
right there. Yeah.
That's honestly what I mean. Like that goes back to everything else, but the educational thing is they're
taught to pass tests, not to critically think.
Well, no. Well, yes and no. Yes, they're taught to pass tests. Oh, I hit the mic again. I gotta get it over here. Apparently, they're taught to pass tests, but and answer questions, but they're not taught to critically think. That's the difference.
Actually hear what they're saying.
They're not even hear what they're saying, but
understand.
Formulate an opinion for themselves. They're not taught that anymore. They're not doing that anymore.
Repeating something you read without contextualizing it is just like parrots can do that.
Well, I talked to a school teacher, and he told me that he has to plug every single essay that he gets. And he's an English teacher. He plugs every single essay into AI, and to see how much of the essay is AI and how much is actual. Like how much is what the student actually did.
I've done some research in this regard. I'm fascinated.
He told me that 90% of the students submit AI full. Like just they type in
they ask it the question.
They asked it They asked it the question. They use ChatGPT and AI more so than anything else. And it's so ridiculous to me that people are just not authentic anymore. They're just not authentic. No one anywhere that you see is authentic anymore. Everything is either watered down by AI or it's a watered down version from their actual self, because they're just too afraid to fucking call you out. Pardon my French. I love you, baby.
So what AI agents have introduced is this sort of self-affirming character. In general, unless you like relentlessly prompt them otherwise, the main job is to make you happy and be the perfect customer service agent. Without specifically telling them to critique or criticize or, hey, am I wrong here? Or play devil's advocate for me. What if, like, just play the other side for me right now? They can lull you into a sense of righteousness where, like, okay, like this all-knowing being has spoken to me, and how could it be wrong? But that's not exactly a trap, but it's an illusion. What you can do, because it's a tool, is manipulate it for your own uses, the same way you would a hammer, a saw, or any other thing. But if you let the tool do the job without the person behind it, there's no guarantee what result you're going to actually get. Everybody knows what an AI hallucination is, where if you were clever enough or understood at least something about what you were asking it, you caught it going off on a tangent, you're like, no, what are you even talking about? That's wrong. I use AI agent too. I'm not ashamed to admit it. It's an immense tool when used properly. It should be used to focus your thoughts, whittle down your opinions, bounce ideas off of a thing. At the end of the day, always be reminded that that is not a human, but simply a machine that was programmed by humans. And it is not human in any regard, although through text, it tries to act like it is. That's the illusion. And what you have to do is remind yourself that it's not that it's not real. It's that it's not human. It doesn't understand human inflection, sarcasm, humor. It can say, huh, that's hilarious, the way you really said that thing, but it's not that it doesn't mean it, it's that it can't mean that. It's saying it because it thinks you'll like that. Now imagine if a friend of yours acted like that. Like just, oh yeah, dude, like just like, you know, this glad-handed, like agrees with everything you said. At some point you're gonna be like, bro, tell me fuck that once, at least in my life, bro. You can't just agree with everything I say. Some folks, you might get, like, feel some kind of way. Like, you know, as this thing is always validating you and like patting you on the back, like, you're so right, dude. Ask it, am I, though? Am I right?
Well, that's the thing, though.
And watch it shock you and tell you, actually, you're all fucked up.
Well, that's the thing is, like, it. I mean, that I would argue that the problem with, I'll go as far as say that the problem with the internet is that it's
What are you,
too
miking
easy.
your balls talking to this thing?
I am.
Speaking with his balls. Speaking to the microphone.
I would say that the problem with everything nowadays is it used to be just everybody had a conversation, and nowadays it's instant gratification every step of the way, where it doesn't matter what I say about you in person. It matters what you heard about me online. And it's definitely a slippery slope, because there's a lot of people out there online that aren't living up to the same potential that they're bragging about. They're not living the same life that you see online.
You get the duality.
They have different. It's a persona that you're seeing versus what they're actually living, and you know, I mean, that goes with me too. I'm not the same person outside of on a stream or on the phone call.
Well, that's weird because my name's actually Livingston Man. I actually own like all of the entire Livingston Manor. I have peasants that work for me. I have
I'm
never
one of them.
persona. Wow, so weird. So you just
But-
live outside of yourself, huh? That's weird.
But, you know, it's a choice, right? So going back to what, you know, some random dude said at the beginning of the chat, it is a choice. It's a choice to live the way that you live, and it's a choice to not live the way that you live. And that's the hard choice, is to not live the way that you want to in order to support your family. So it's a matter of a choice. So a lot of people choose the latter, and they want to just support their family and stuff. And I'm, for the sake of a better word, I'm one of them. And yeah, you know, I travel for work, and it's unfortunate, and there's a lot of things that I regret, but I still get to see my family every single day, and that to me is more gratifying than being without them. So haters gonna hate regardless.
What do you think of? Let me rephrase. I like to think that now everybody probably has this apologist stance about their AI usage, except for you bunch of gatekeeping elitists who are like, I use AI, cool. And that's fine, dude. I use AI for all kinds of things, especially for problem solving. Things that either I don't know how to do or I don't know how to find out how to do. Rather than, as a creator, as a musician especially, I had immediate reservations about AI's ability to make music. Okay. Because I used to say, and was such a purist about it. I mean, I came up with like cassette decks and old mixers I bought at like Radio Shack and flea markets and stuff, and like recorded my own music, had microphones and whatever, and it sounded like shit. But I learned how to do it like the hard way. If you got it wrong, you had to play the whole fucking song again, so on and so forth. And then when I got computers in the studio to like help with the tracking and take away like having to use physical tapes and things like this, I used it for its editing capabilities, but not so much for like its mistake fixing capabilities. But I always said, hey, it's not like there's you push the button, make music, push the button. But now, like, there kind of really is. And this is not me complaining AI took my job. It's amazingly more satisfying for me to pick up my guitar that I actually built and know how to play than to tell some computer to play the music.
Sorry, I had to lock the door.
Sure.
Cat came in.
Fucking coming in, making noise. But as in terms of its wealth of knowledge, you can ask it anything, and it will spit back a reasonable response. And the more, unfortunately or fortunately, however you want to look at it, that we teach it, and the more that we interact with it, the more it learns. It's kind of how it is programmed to work at this point. It's like phase 2 AI. Now its idea is to learn. Phase 3 AI will be to replace us all. But we're not there yet. We get to teach it how to replace it all. So, do you honestly, so do you do the steward route? Where you're like, okay, well, if somebody's going to teach this thing, what if people who actually know what they're talking about do it? Or do you let the guys who just like, make a bitch with 5 tits do it? Because it is coming inevitably anyway.
Well, I mean,
the 5 tits, obviously. Yeah, I mean.
It's not. That's not what I was going to.
3 tits, all right, fine, 3. It's easier on the system.
going back to Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Look at the one in the middle. Come on, bro. Fucking AI can make that possible. Isn't that the dream?
No, and that's the thing is like AI got blown out of proportion. It became something that it wasn't supposed to. AI was, I believe, that it was originated for a purpose, and now we're at this point where it has taken over so much of our lives to where it's almost unattainable and not even controllable at this point.
Why is it in my toaster, and what is
Yeah,
it doing in there?
and you know, actually, there was back in the early 2000s, there was a show called I believe it was called it was a spin-off of Malcolm in the Middle, and or not, yeah, it was a spin-off. Anyway, that's not important. The whole premise of the show was it was an AI house. Everything talked to each other. So it was an artificial intelligence house where and what ended up happening was the whole house got locked down and it locked the family inside of it. My question to everybody is, are we going to let that happen? Like, because we're not far away from it. You have to look. You have AI toasters. You have AI microwaves, AI refrigerators. You have AI everything is AI. So when are we actually going to not let them into our lives and into our day-to-day lives? When are we going to just be ourselves? Because we haven't done that in a long time. And I talk to my wife about it a lot. I talk to my son about it a lot. And I just want to end up on an 80-acre piece of property where nobody bothers me and I'm able to just relax and grow my own food, mow my own lawn, and not have to deal with anybody else, including the government. But herein lies the problem, right?
Right fucking there. Every time.
Herein
Just
lies.
leave me alone. They're like, can't do it. We're coming in.
Herein lies the problem, because you're not allowed to have a piece of land anywhere in the country without paying state, local, federal, and school tax. So that being said, retirement's is out for me.
You know what your retirement's going to consist of? Getting put by the curb and shipped to Ohio in a truck. Mind you, we're going to have to take a word from our sponsor.
At L&V Logistics, meat packing is our business. Express shipping from New York to Ohio. We'll take it from here.
Sometimes you just can't avoid being placed by the side of the street and shipped off to a facility in Ohio. Understand that at least your wasted life will finally be put to use, pushing up the proverbial daisies, and your life energy can finally be used for something useful, besides prompting AI with the next useless, self-affirming question you wanted to answer. Rob the Drifter had to take a quick break from the stream, but he'll be back. Did they? And you know what? Never mind. Actually, I was about to go somewhere, and then I'm not gonna. This has been a very interesting conversation. I wondered. I'm actually trying to amp up Rob the Drifter. I think he's got more in him. I think he's holding back. I don't know what he's afraid of, but I'm gonna try and get him a little perturbed. I want to see his hands waving around. I want to see him pointing at the camera. I got to figure out how to do this. He can't hear me because he's not in the room. That's why I'm speaking like I am. I appreciate any of y'all, all y'all, showing up. We got a whole 9 concurrent viewers. This is a slow one. Whole 49 views. Appreciate y'all. I'm not going to say there's something wrong with the stream. Why didn't this stream go viral? Why don't I not have 1 million views? Because this is some bullshit, all right? It's just some guys talking shit. We ain't got no topic. Homeboy just showed up. Is he going to do a live stream? I said, yeah. And he's back. Ladies and gentlemen, the man himself, Rob the Drifter.
Sorry, guys.
Now, we devolved into this whole, like, pissing and moaning our grievances about AI all over the thing. What else, though? I know where I can get you to actually say something that you don't have to measure your words about.
Okay.
Through all this cloud of negativity that we painted here, this ugly picture that we presented.
Okay. Game.
And we get to the sun, the dawn. It's on the horizon. Where does it get better, Rob, the Drifter? What do we got to do?
Well, I mean, Rob the Drifter, I drift a lot. I move too much, and it sucks. I don't know if anybody's moved in the chat, but it sucks. And I move a lot. But it doesn't get any easier moving, right? The state that we're in right now.
New York fucking sucks. Yeah. I know what you mean.
You're
the guy. Where's the faith? Where's the sunlight shining through the clouds right now? Bring it. Come on. We got to bring this live stream back positive before we get out of here. You have 4 minutes.
Oh, yeah? What, you got somewhere to be?
Dinner. Shower.
All right.
I know you're the guy. I mean, I'm looking to you for the positivity because we painted an ugly picture tonight. And I don't want to leave the folks with no way out.
Well, I'll tell you this. It's it definitely gets better when you actually realize that you're in control of every day. And that really has to be the mentality for you moving forward. And the prepper mindset aside, you're in control of every single day, and everybody loses sight of that, and nobody actually recognizes how much control you have of your own life. We always use the excuses as, well, I can't do this because of work. I can't do this because of this. I can't do this because of that. You're in control of your own life. And the moment that you actually recognize that you're in control of every single moment that you have to offer to everyone around you is the moment that you realize it's so much easier. It's easier knowing that you're in control. Because you are in control. You can say, I don't want to go to work today. You can have a job and not have a job tomorrow. But at the end of the day, you're in control. You can have to go to work and do all these things, or you can not, but you're in control. So the control of your own life is one of those things that nobody actually realizes that they have. Is you're in control of your own life.
They sort of outsource it to external forces and then blame them.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like it's easier to blame everybody else and say I just couldn't I can't make it because I have this, I have that, I have this, I have that. I have to meet this person because of this meeting. I have this meeting, I have work. But it's at the end of the day, you're in control of your own life. And no one actually recognizes or understands that, which is it blows my mind because really, that's all you have. That's the only thing that you have control of. That you can constantly change in any way that you want. That's the only thing that you have. But everybody uses it and as an excuse and manipulates it with like you said, like the outside. Somebody did this, somebody did that. I have to be here, I have to be there. Well, that's fine, but you actually have a choice. And that goes back to some random dudes. You have a choice. You have a choice. Every single day, you have a choice. You have a choice to, well, you don't have a choice to wake up. That's up to God. But once you get up, then you have a choice. And
I think Rush said it in a song, if you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice.
That is a great lyric. And I will hit the bell on that one. That was a great reference. One of my favorite bands in all of everything. Rush is top dollar for me. But yes, absolutely. It's one of those things where like nobody recognizes the fact that they make a choice every single day to either do this or do that, and they don't look at it as a choice, they look at it as an obligation. And I guess it's easier to look at it as an obligation.
The New York Redneck 4735 is like on fire, and I was.
What's he talking about?
I don't know. He's about. Well, to paraphrase, let's see. Do no harm. No, yes, him. Do no harm to anyone who does no harm to you. Sounds cool. But
Yep.
just above that, yeah, burn their homes down if they threaten you, and then being peaceful to someone harming you is the same as being a cuck to a rapist. I'm not sure. I mean, I understand what you said, but I'm struggling with the context. Is all. I will choose free will. Yes, exactly. See, now we're on point. See, it all comes together. Ladies and gentlemen, this conversation could go on until the cows come home. And the issue with that is that I don't even own cows.
Oh, Big Joe Kasulis. All depends.
Big Joe Kasula says, and we know, of course, we know this fella too. He's only right over there. He could probably hear us speaking directly rather than through the internet.
That is my.
If you want less,
is my cousin.
If you want less, you need to sacrifice more of your lifetime for that want. Some want more, some want less, and
yes,
to his point,
absolutely.
To his point, you will always hear that some hero, some provider, some giver, some of truth, knowledge, well-being, whatever, always gave what was needed, not what was wanted. Wants will fill a backpack, a trailer, a house, a storage unit. Your needs will fill your pockets.
Yeah, but I agree with him because there are different ways to go about it. So yes, I want to provide for my family, right? But I don't want to spend time away from them. So I need to provide for my family, so I have to spend time away from them. Now,
I meant that in a more superficial.
Right, but
idea.
I'm going to take it to a literal sense. So
I want a cigarette. I need to quit smoking.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, we can go down this rabbit hole if you want to, but I don't need to. Did you get it?
Entirely different perspectives, and you see how that works. My point, the point I always make about prepping and survival, since I know a lot of you are just echo chamber customers from other channels that I am. affiliated with.
That's the first time I've
Namely,
seen him
Hudson Valley
in
Prepping and Survival.
That's the first time I've seen him in a chat.
Who? Big Joe Casoulas?
Yeah.
I've seen him in real life.
Yeah.
That's my bro right there.
I'll actually, if you want to go, anyway, we'll talk about it after the stream.
Livingston's don't go places.
There he is.
If he wants
Need
to
a
shoot
job or
heroin in
butter.
his cock, but he doesn't need to. Exactly. Thank you. See, some random dude understands what I'm saying. You need to shoot heroin in your cock, but you don't want to, and that's the
I don't know if that's the
flip mode
same.
of that.
I don't know if that's the same argument. That's kind of a trash argument. You don't
One
need
man's trash is another man's treasure. Okay, so there's that.
I don't know. It sounds like it's going to be all trash.
He said he wanted to, didn't need to, but it wants turn into needs real quick. But that
SRD, you got to settle down, because don't do that.
Don't get me
whatever you
riled up.
do.
We've gone 5 minutes over my self-imposed limit. I have given you what you need, not what you want, obviously. We got 13 concurrent viewers, up from 4 at our low point there. So that's cool.
Yeah,
Ladies
it was
and
an
gentlemen,
impromptu. I
was a very-
kind of just walked over and said, "Hey, you want to do a live stream?" And he was like, no." And then he was told otherwise by Mrs. Livingston. So
We're not going to make a big secret about who actually wears the pants around here, okay? Lord of the Manor ain't shit when you have the Baroness herself giving the orders. Better recognize who's really in charge around
well,
here.
yeah, because she loves me more than you.
She loves... I'm lower on that caste system than this one. Like, I just want a relationship like you guys have, that, like, where you just love each other and church it. I'm like, I don't know whose fucking relationship you're
Yeah,
talking about,
what
dude.
kind of relationship is that?
Whose relationship are you
no,
talking about?
And
Is that what it looks
that
like
doesn't
to you?
exist.
Our illusion is working. I love my wife. Don't get it twisted. Ladies and
No.
gentlemen, thank you for your time, your patience, your input.
Dana Let's Prep says, "Are you saying?" I can't read that.
Are you staying in your current area for a good while? No, he's a drifter. See,
Yeah,
he's not Rob
no.
the Stayer. It's not.
He
It
kinda-
drifts around. Like,
Yeah,
the
no,
ocean currents stay where it is.
I'm in North Carolina until I'm not, and then I have no idea where I'm gonna be, and I'll be moving around, and I will be in New York for a little bit longer, and then I won't be here, and
I think
back down.
I think I speak for the chat when in your. I'm just going to use the word hobo, but in the most because
Okay.
well, you're a traveling worker. Okay,
Yeah.
you do the work's done. You move on to the next, and you do it again. I think you should document your travels. I think you should bring us all with you. I think you need to get your channel, grab your phone, and just start posting videos. Show us where you at. I think the people would like it. Can I get a 1 in the chat before I swear to God I'm gonna shut this live stream off? I've let this go on long enough.
He's at 10 minutes almost past his breaking point.
1 in the chat. I'm gonna put my 1 in the chat. Fuck it. Did that. 1 in the chat. Rob the Drifter needs a GoPro camera and take us along on his journeys. Whatever he's up to, who doesn't want to see that? Talk about bugging out. Man's ain't got. He's got roots, but he's constantly having to transplant himself and find his way back to where his roots are. This is an interesting lifestyle. I would subscribe to this channel and watch, just for the hijinks and antics. Am I right? Come on. Well, you
Yeah.
got 4. You got you got 3. You got three number 1s in there. Me and Rob the Drifter, we go way back, and eventually, and then later,
20
in life,
years.
Later in life, became like straight up neighbors, and yeah. If you come to Livingston, it ain't just about me. It's about this guy
I
too.
started it.
I kind of took his thunder. He was here first. I just showed up and bought the place.
Yeah, it was.
showed up and rented the place.
Yeah, that was the original Livingston man, but he owns the handle.
So I said the joke louder and everybody heard it. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been an excellent live stream. I had a good time. I think we made some good points. I think we talked some shit. We could have went so much deeper, but there's just not time for it. Because I already came into it like slightly exhausted and a little bit buzzed. And honestly, I can't believe I can still speak English. I didn't even make up a word tonight. That's how tired I am. I didn't even coin a phrase. But you know what? It's been a great time. I really appreciate having you. I think that you should expand your own persona out here. I think you have very unique insight. I think you have the charisma to point at the camera and say things with conviction because they're true. One in the chat for that. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Rob the Drifter featuring the Livingston Man. We'll see you next time.
Love you guys.
Peace.